Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Introduction. My name is Faisal Noman. I am the student of BS Zoology in semester 4 at a government postgraduate college Sawabi. Today my topic is the integumentary system of vertebrates. In a previous video we talked about the integument and the integumentary system in vertebrates. Today we talk about the integumentary system of vertebrates. Means that we will talk about that what the type of integumentary system present in vertebrates. So the outline of my lecture it is that the skin of Charles species and the skin of cartilaginous species and the skin of bony species and the skin of amphibian and the skin of reptiles and the skin of birds and the skin of mammal. So these outline I will be explain in my lecture. So if you people still not subscribe the channel, so the first of all subscribe the channel that you people get new updates in my channel. So now we are going to discuss the skin. That what is skin? Skin is the vertebrate integument, mean that the vertebrate have the integument system in the form of skin. It is the largest organ, mean that the skin is the largest organ. The skin related to the body growth, and the skin related to the body growth, it means that as the body grows, so also the skin also grow with the body growth. The skin have mainly three layers, mean that the skin have main three layers. The first layer it is the epidermis, mean that the epidermis which are the first layer of the skin, and the second one is the dermis, and also they have a third layer called hypodermis. So now we are going to discuss these three layers in a little detail. The layer of skin. Now we're going to discuss the layer of skin. That what is the layer of skin? So we said in ago slides that the epidermis are the outermost layer of the skin. It's composed of epithelial cells, and the dermis, it is a connective tissue or the mesh of the connective tissues, cartilaginous and reticular and elastic fiber. Mean that the dermis are the connective tissue or the network of cartilaginous and reticular elastic fiber. These three are the combined together and it's give the structure of dermis. And also the hypodermis. The hypodermis, it is a loose connective tissue, means it consists of loose connective tissue. It's have the loose connective tissues, and also they have adipocyte tissue. Adipose tissue or adipocyte tissue are those tissues that connect the parts from the body and store its inner skin. And also they have a nervous ending, mean that they have a sensory system. And the hypodermis separate the other deeper tissue from the skin, mean that the hypodermis and the dermis, and the hypodermis and other deeper tissue have the skin, and the other deeper tissue have the in between layer. It's called the hypodermis, mean that the hypodermis separate the deeper tissue from the other tissue. Now we're going to discuss the skin of Charles species. The skin of Charles species, that what the type of skin present in the Charles species. So the example of Charles species is the lamprey and hagfishes. The hagfishes and the lamprey are the example of Charles species. They have a relatively thick skin, mean that Charles species have a relative thick skin. The thick skin are present in a Charles species. The epidermal glandular cells secrete mucus, mean that the body of the Charles species have a skin, and the skins have the epidermal gland, and the gland secretes the mucus secretes. In a hagfish, the skin produces a slime on a large amount on the body. So in a hagfish there is another pigment release, it's called slime, and the slime which cover the whole body, and it's prevent the Charles species from the parasite and predator, means that they prevent from the parasite attack, and also it's prevent from the predator. So this is the skin of Charles species. Now we're going to discuss the skin of the cartilaginous species, mean that what the type of skin present in a cartilaginous species. they have a multi-layered skin, mean that the skin of the cartilaginous species are multi-layered. They have a lot layer, not two or one layer. They have multi-layer, and it is a thick layer, meaning that the skin are thick, and it's contain the mucus and sensory. Also, as we say in a bony in a Jarish species, that they have the mucus, so also they contain the mucus in their skin, and they have a sensory cell, means that they can sense anything by the skin. And the dermis have a bones in the form of small pelycoid scale. Pelycoid scale, it is a type of scale which is present in a cartilaginous species. When the dermis have the bone-like pelycoid scale, and it give a structure to the cartilaginous species. This structure is called denticle. The denticle have a blood vessel. The denticle have a blood vessel present, and also they have a narrow ending tissues present in a cartilaginous species. Also, they have the vertebrate teeth, means that as like the vertebrate teeth have the blood vessels and narrow present, so as like in a denticle of the cartilaginous species, the blood vessels and narrow ending present. The denticle produce a protective structure on the skin, means that they have or give a hard structure to the cartilaginous species. When the denticle project out, means that the denticle out from the body, it's form a fan-like structure on the body, and the fan-like structure it's give protection from predators and injuries. Now we are going to discuss the skin of bony fishes. That what the type of skin present in a bony fishes. The bony fishes, they have thick skin and it possesses dermal skin. Also, as like in a cartilaginous species, they have a flat scale, so they have also the type of scale which is present in a bony fishes called dermal scale. The dermal scale present in the skin of the bony fishes. The epidermis processes the mucus, and so also they have also the mucus gland present in their skin, and which produce the frictions, and also it's crave from protection and give protection from the predator. In a sea patches, in a sea deep patches, the patches which lie in a deep of sea, in the bottom of sea, and the epidermis contain a special type of cell. It's called the photophore. The photophore are the type of the. It is a type of cell which produce a glow. The photophore function is to produce a glow, which is used for the communication and warning signal when the condition is sensitive. Mean that if a bony fishes have attacked by something, so they can produce the photophore by photophore, and it's release a glow and light. So it indicate the emergencies, mean that if there is another bony fishes, so they can run out from their places where are dangerous conditions. So now we are going to discuss the skin of amphibian. The amphibian skin we will discuss in a downward lecture. The skin of consists stratified epithelium, means that the skin of the amphibian are consists of the stratified epithelium. The stratified epithelium, the dermis contain the mucus and pigmentation cell. The pigmentation cell and the mucus consist dermis. The evolution history show that the ancestor of the aquatic fishes, mean that they are ancestor, and they are evaluate from the aquatic fishes, mean that possibly they are the fishes where they live in the water, so they are modified, and evolution occur in earth, and they transfer from the water to the terrestrial environment or the non-water environment. So this is the evolutionary history present between the amphibian and fishes, and it means that in aquatic life. So the early amphibian skin contains scale, and later it's adapt to their integumentary skin, mean that also as like the fishes, they have the scale present in their body. Later they later they adopted their self and their palm and integumentary cells, and they have the problem. So when they come out from the water, so they face a problem of desiccation, depression, and ultraviolet effect, because they not adapted. So the adaptations occur in amphibian due to the keratinization, mean that the keratinization and mucus gland come in the skin of the amphibian. The keratinization means that it consists of keratin. In a fishes or other in other vertebrates which we study before, they have, and then they have no keratin present in their body. So in a bony in a amphibian, they have keratinization occur, means that the keratinization, the presence of keratin occur in amphibian. So the keratin helpful in a protection from abrasion and ultraviolet light, because it give hardness to the skin of the amphibian. The mucus gland consists of mucus which prevent amphibian from the problem of dehydration. Also the mucus gland which come and adopted in an amphibian, and they prevent the amphibian from the problem of dehydration. So the dehydration and the abrasion and ultraviolet light effect is prevented by the keratination and mucus gland present in the skin of amphibian. Now we are going to the skin of reptile. That what the type of skin present in a reptile. The reptiles are truly terrestrial, meaning that they are highly terrestrial and present in a highly environment, mean that in a highly dry environment they live. The environment is a very thick and keratinous, mean that they are very thick skin present in the reptile, and also the keratinization occur in the skin of reptile, mean that the keratin present in reptiles. The cornified epidermis. The cornified epidermis, that they are the dead cells which are inert and insoluble and tough protein, and also they have the cornified epidermis present in a reptile. It's an insoluble and also tough protein, mean that the cornified epidermis, it's also give the protection and hardness to the skin of a reptile. They don't possess the gland, mean that reptiles have torn any gland in their skin. They devoted of the gland, and if the gland not present, so the water don't last occur. We say that they are truly terrestrial, mean that they are truly terrestrial. If they are terrestrial, so in terrestrial environment there is a lack of water. If the lack of water, so there is no water found in a terrestrial environment. If the water is so difficult in a terrestrial environment, so if the gland present in the reptiles, so they can last the water. If the gland not present in the reptile, so they can last the water. The skin of reptiles are impermeable, mean that the water, they can last the water and they cannot absorb the water, mean that they are impermeable. Now we are going to discuss the skin of avian. Avian are the birds skin we are discussing. It is just like a reptile, mean as like a reptile, and they don't have the gland except the urophysial gland which is present in a avian. It's just like reptiles, but the epidermis, and the epidermis, it is a thing up to 2 to 3 cells thickness, mean that we combine 2 or 3 cells, so as like as same the thickness present in the epidermis of avian. The skin are avoided of the gland, mean that the skin of birds have no gland except the urophysial gland present in the avian skin. The urophysial gland secrete an oil. Then it secrete an oil, and it gives a brightness to the feather of the birds. The dermis, it is thick and contain the connective tissues and blood vessel and lymphatic vessel and nerve ending and small muscles. The bird's dermis are thick and contain the connective tissues and the blood vessels and lymphatic vessels and narrow ending also present in a dermis. The feather which is present in the skin derivative of the epidermis mean that the skin have the feather, a lot of type of feather present in a part. They are the derivative of the epidermis. The feather aids give the protection and help in a thermoregulation in parts mean that the protection and the thermoregulation occur due to the feather in a bird. Now we are going to discuss the skin of mammal. So the first of all, we are going to discuss the key feature of the mammalian skin. The mammalian skin, they are the hair present in the mammalian skins. They have the stratified epidermis, means the stratified epidermis present in the skin of the mammals. The dermis are highly thick and than the epidermis, means that the dermis are more thick than the epidermis. The hypodermis also present, which are also thick, and the variety of gland present in the mammalian skin. So these five are the key feature of the mammalian skin. Now we are going to discuss the skin of mammalian. The epidermis are composed of dead cells and the outer layer called the stratum corneum. The stratum corneum, it is the outermost layer of the epidermis. The egg cells consist the keratin protein, means that the stratum cells consist of the keratin protein, and it's also give hardness to the skin of mammals. The glycolipid and the stratum corneum make the skin waterproof, means that the glycolipid present in between the stratum germination and the stratum corneum, and it give the waterproof properties to the mammalian skin. The stratum germination produce new cells and push the older cells to output side. Mean as the stratum germinations produce the cells, so they go to upward and push upward, and the new cells in a pattern, and the older cells go out and they eliminate from the body. The skin of mammalian, the epidermis, the dermis, it is a highly thick and composed of connective tissues, protein, fiber, and chromatophore pigment cell, mean that the skin are highly thick than the epidermis in a mammalian, and they have the pigment cell, mean the chromatophore, protein, fiber, and connective tissues present in a mammalian skin. They have a small muscle and narrow ending. The narrow ending also and the muscle also present in the dermis of the mammalian. The hypodermis, beneath the dermis. The hypodermis present in the mammalian skin, it is beneath the muscle, and they have the loose connective tissue, and they have also the adipose tissue. As we said that the adipose tissue are the adipocyte cells are those cells which collect the fats from the body and store in the skin, and they have the skeletal muscle and other muscles present in the mammalian skin. Now we are going to talk about the skin possesses the variety of gland, mean that they have the variety of gland present in the mammalian skin. The first is Sudoriferous gland. Sudoriferous gland, mean the sudoriferous gland present in the skin of mammal. It is the sweat gland, mean also they can call the sweat gland, and the sweat gland, it is present in the human or the other mammal's body, and its help in a thermoregulation, and its work is a protection and give cooling to the body by the perspirations. And the sudoriferous gland are the further modified to secrete pheromone, and the pheromone, it is a chemical substance released either and smells during and they recognize the sex recognitions and the communication, mean that the pheromones, they are chemical substances which is released by the sudoriferous gland, and its sex recognition and communication purposes. The sebaceous gland in a pore of every hair present, which secrete the oily substance and its help in a smoothness of skin, meaning that the sebaceous gland present in the every pore of hair is secrete oily substance, and the oily substance help in a smoothness of the skin. So these are the odds about the integumentary system of vertebrates.
Welcome to Biolab Teaching. If you people still not subscribe the channel for the first time, subscribe the channel and click the bell icon for more updates.